Picture this. It's 1971. You're holding a US dollar bill in your hand. And for most of modern history, that paper wasn't just money. It was a promise. A promise that if you really wanted to, this could be exchanged for gold. Not tomorrow, not maybe, gold. Now, here's the part most people miss. America didn't become powerful because it had gold. America became powerful because the world believed America wouldn't cheat, and gold was the proof. Because gold does one thing better than anything else on earth. It forces discipline. It forces limits, and empires hate limits. Let me show you why. For a long time, money was basically a chain around governments. If a country printed too much, people would convert that paper into gold, and the gold would leave. So the message was simple: behave or you bleed. That's what the gold standard really was. Not a treasure, a leash. Then, after World War II, America ended up holding a huge chunk of the world's gold. Factories were intact, Europe was rebuilding. The US dollar became the center of the system. And the deal was elegant. The world would use dollars because dollars could be exchanged for gold, but only for governments and central banks. Still, psychologically, everyone knew what it meant. This paper had an anchor, and that anchor was gold. Now, here's where the story turns. Because once you're the center of the financial world, you get addicted. Not to money, to the ability to spend without immediate consequences. America started funding massive programs. Then came Vietnam. Then came more spending and more promises. But the anchor didn't change. Gold was still sitting there like a quiet accountant saying, "Okay, but where's the coverage for all this?" Meanwhile, other countries were watching, especially France. France looked at America and basically said, "You're printing, we're holding paper, we want the metal." So countries started converting dollars into gold. And something terrifying happened behind the scenes. The gold wasn't infinite. The promise was being tested. And if that test continued, the US would lose the one thing holding the whole system together: credibility. So America had a choice. Option 1, cut spending, accept limits, keep the promise. Option 2, keep spending and change the rules. And on a Sunday night in August of 1971, President Nixon went on TV and did something that sounds technical, but changed everything. He closed the gold window. In plain English, the dollar could no longer be converted into gold. The anchor was cut. And the world woke up in a new era. Here's what's crazy. There were no tanks in the streets, no explosion, no dramatic collapse. Just a sentence in a calm speech that quietly rewired money. And from that moment on, the dollar wasn't backed by gold. It was backed by something else: trust. Now, trust can be powerful. But trust is also fragile, because trust isn't a metal. Trust is a feeling. And once money is based on a feeling, the system becomes political, flexible, expandable, and dangerously easy to abuse. That's why after 1971, the story of American power changes. Debt starts to grow in a way that would have been impossible under gold. The economy grows too, yes, but the discipline disappears, because the hard limit is gone. And this is the pattern you see in every empire. First, sound money. Then expansion. Then just this once spending. Then a new rule to avoid consequences. Then decades of consequences that nobody connects to the original decision. So what is gold today? Is it old money? Is it a relic? If gold is useless, why do central banks still hold it? Why do countries that don't trust each other trust gold? Because gold is not a currency. Gold is an alarm. It's the thing that reminds the system, you can't print reality. And that's why America's relationship with gold matters. It's not a story about shiny bars. It's a story about the moment an empire chose flexibility over discipline. And the real question is, not was leaving gold good or bad? The real question is, what happens to a system when the anchor is gone, and all that's left is belief? Because history is clear about one thing. Empires don't collapse when they're weak. They collapse when they still think they're untouchable. And the scariest part is, it doesn't start with chaos. It starts with a rule change that almost nobody understands.